Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining our co-sell coaching session. My name is Rajesh Ramgudi, and I'm the Global Director of Field Marketing for the Microsoft Commercial Marketplace. This is the fourth session in our co-sell coaching series. Today, I'm excited to host Mike Marzano. Mike is the head of Global Cloud Alliances at Contentsquare. You're going to be hearing Mike share his insights around how to get your organization ready to co-sell with Microsoft through the marketplace. Our goal through these sessions is to introduce you to your peers in our Microsoft partner community, folks like Mike, to hear and learn firsthand about the best practices they have leveraged to co-sell effectively with Microsoft. We plan to host these sessions monthly, and each session will be around for 30 minutes, followed by Q&A through the online chat. Now, before I hand it over to Mike, I want to quickly ensure everyone understands what we mean by co-selling. Co-selling, or IP co-selling to be very precise, is a collaborative engagement between Microsoft and its partners to sell products together. For example, it could involve lead sharing, driving joint sales cycles, and closing and transacting deals through the Microsoft Commercial Marketplace. We're going to be adding a link in the chat for you to learn if you want to learn more about this partner benefit and how to meet the requirements to make your solution IP co-sell eligible. Now, without further delay, I'm going to invite Mike Marzano to introduce Contentsquare and share his co-sell insights and learnings with us. Mike, thank you for joining us today and offering us your time and sharing your co-sell journey with Microsoft. Over to you.
Thank you for the introduction, Rajesh, and thank you for the opportunity to speak with the audience. My name is Mike Marzano. I lead global cloud, data, and platform alliances for Contentsquare. A lot of times when businesses are getting started working within the marketplace, they often think about, how do I start co-selling immediately? And some of the biggest things I think that matter are these three. So are you in the right mindset? Are you mastering how to partner with Microsoft? Are you co-sell ready from an organizational perspective? And are you able to drive deals with precision? Now, I've outlined a little bit of what we're going to be going through in this session, but first, I thought it'd be helpful if I give you an understanding of who Contentsquare is and what we do. Contentsquare believes that every brand is trying to scale and differentiate with digital experience. And this digital experience needs to be personalized, continually improving, and frictionless. But when we survey digital teams across business leaders of all sorts of types, only 12% of those teams feel like they are delivering the experience that their customers expect and customers deserve. And this is where Contentsquare comes in. We're an all-in-one experience intelligent platform. Our platform is designed to help fix analytics, and we do this through AI-powered insights to engage, convert, and retain customers. Because you understand those customers, and you're doing that very quickly, so that you can work quickly to prioritize based on the impact changes to your digital properties might have. And this includes auto-capturing customer behavior as somebody navigates through their customer journey on your site, application, or digital product. And it's all around creating the best experience through that data and insight that you're able to glean from Contentsquare. On to the topics at hand. I thought I'd first cover the idea of mastering the Microsoft partner mindset. And what this means, you are following clear guidelines around co-sell, co-market, co-build. Who are you? What do you do? Why does that matter to me? And this message really goes into thinking of Microsoft's core pillars. So we are a SaaS product with a clear value proposition. We have great pipeline, which we've shared through Microsoft Partner Center. We're registering our wins also in Microsoft Partner Center, and we're available in the marketplace. Right there, we've checked off quite a bit of things that matter to Microsoft's partner ecosystem and Microsoft's account teams. We're used by a very known name brand. We're solving a clear challenge and driving clear results. This adds additional credibility. This gives examples that businesses can understand, but also Microsoft can understand when they're thinking of, where does Contentsquare's product fit into my broader organization, and what the teams I'm working with might be interested in doing. And finally, very important, building a product with Microsoft to co-sell. It's really important that that product is hosted on Microsoft services such as Azure. But as you get more and more into prioritized services from Microsoft, this is going to add additional value to your pitch and to why Microsoft would be interested in working and co-selling with you. We're built on a strategic technology that is being prioritized by Microsoft. Right now, without a doubt, that goes into Azure OpenAI, goes into Copilots, and goes into other areas. But it's really important to think through, how do we align with what Microsoft cares the most about? And so when we start to think about what this means from a standpoint of co-selling in this case is really linked to marketplace. But co-sell from a perspective of what a business is looking to do, you're probably wanting to remove a blocker. You're probably wanting to get access granted to an IT budget like a Mac, and you're hoping to grow that deal term, deal size. Another point here, are you hoping to shorten the sales cycle? In order to get to this stage, you have to do this at volume. You're registering deals. You're being a really good hygiene partner within Microsoft Partner Center. And this is showing that Microsoft that you have growth, you've got a pipeline, you're driving value, you're retiring commitments, and you're retiring quota. And most importantly, you're selling in the marketplace. Now, one of the key things I would say, often businesses are thinking through, why should we get in the marketplace? What's the added value? Is the juice worth the squeeze? I will definitely say for Contentsquare, it is. It is not without its pain points. But as we've leaned into this and we've made it a firm pillar to our strategy across all sale areas, especially within enterprise, we see that it helps us access that IT budget. It expedites procurement, and it allows us to tap into additional incentives that Microsoft will pay to us that can help us drive more business opportunity. This becomes our own superpower. We would be succeeding thanks to our usage of Marketplace, even without the co-sell benefit. But good news, this is what's linked. If you're not focusing on the side on the right and the side on the left both, forget the side in the middle. And when we think of co-sell, I cannot tell you how important it is to make sure you are level setting your stakeholders and your business sellers' expectations. Co-selling does not mean cold leads. Co-selling does not mean someone else is going to do the lion's share of the work for you. Co-selling is not the partner being able to sell you as well as you can sell your software. But what you can expect is deal support and intelligence into what area of the business the cloud seller and account team understands, maybe their Azure usage, maybe different things that they are prioritizing. You can definitely expect assistance with driving a marketplace purchase. This will help you get things over the line, identify key stakeholders, and general co-sell alignment. Now, as you move into a little bit more experienced and potentially sellers who have more stakeholders in the organizations that matter to you within the buying center, you can expect joint engagement. How do we bring this to the account together? You can expect broadening account opportunities. So outside of this one deal, what other deals could we work on, whether it's in my patch as a Microsoft account seller or my ATU's patch that we could work together on because we've had previous success, really important point, and intelligence about the customer's cloud commit. Now, there are legal components here. They can't share with you exactly what that cloud commit is, timelines, everything, but they can give you good indicators of, hey, this could really help the customer close a gap that they have. Hey, the customer is looking to renegotiate their Mac agreement at the end of the year, and baking in your SaaS could help us give them the best pricing. There's ways that you can work together. But as we move and focus on this not likely category, that doesn't mean it's not going to happen. But from the experience I've seen, from the experience that I've seen by working with others who've built similar programs, you can earn some of this with time and trust, right? Microsoft sellers, they have a limited amount of time, right? So the more concise you make what you're trying to do with them, the more likely you are going to get support, The more you bring these successes back to the team at Microsoft, the more likely you are to get that next opportunity. And so it's about time and trust. And it's really about understanding how do you make it really easy for Microsoft to co-sell with you. And that means you've got your hygiene, you're very buttoned up and ready to go. And this gets a bit into that area. Obviously, we've talked about co-sell, we've talked about organizational understanding of how you align, but let's think through what it means to be co-sell ready. This is the biggest question I would ask to any ISV or ISV leader who's looking to tap into co-sell. Are you ready? Have you understood what it takes to kind of bring together a new go-to-market package? Many businesses do this outside of, marketplace. Building a new go-to-market package is the exact same exercise that you would take by going direct and marketing something new. You really have to think through all of these different pieces and stakeholders that you need to align with in order to get the best results and ensure that you're driving this from plan through execution on a continual basis. Aligning this with your strategy. Clear no-brainer, right? But you'd be surprised. Are you focused on a PLG motion? Are you focused on enterprise? Do you expect to use the marketplace to drive leads to a premium or a free trial offer? This really becomes important as you move up this ladder here. Product, are you built on specific Microsoft Azure services? What parts of Microsoft Cloud are you working on? How does this really tie in to what you're hoping to place on the marketplace? Legal, are you ready to accept marketplace private offer terms? What do you need to structure within here? How is this process going to differ from what you do standardly? And really making sure that you're focused on how do we sell our product, which we know how to sell, which we know the important legal components to, in the way that's going to help us leverage the marketplace. Finance, are you comp neutral? Are you comp positive? Are you adding the marketplace fee to the customer's bill? All incredibly important to figure out as you're working through the process here. Sales operations, how are you actually going to bring all this data into Salesforce? What is the process going to work like? And of course, getting into execution. All of these teams need to be involved, at least in parts of the stages when it comes to marketplace. Whether you're focused on new business, you're focused on co-sell alignment to driving pipeline, or focus on getting marketplace renewals through. It's really important that all these people are enabled and all of these people are incentivized around this structure of utilizing go-to-market through marketplace. And when I think of this, I refer to this as the success sandwich when it comes to structuring for co-sell support. If you worked with finance to set clear expectation and define success, you've got clear compensation guidelines and incentives built around utilizing marketplace. So again, getting into comp neutrality, comp positivity. You're building a process, but you're not overloading process. We want to partner for the success. We don't want to partner for process, but process is needed. We all know that. You're bringing something new into this. How do you stitch it in to add minimal lift with maximum value? And you can build on that over time. And then, of course, documenting and illustrating success. So one of the things I would say that's been most successful for Contentsquare is we are very open to feedback from our sellers. Hey, what's going well? What's not going well? Let's change it. Let's move things around. Let's really highlight you, the seller, when something's going well. So outside of compensating you, let's make you the hero in this. When you get your sellers to be bought in, this is going to help you get perpetual alignment and agreement from the executives who need to have buy-in in your strategy. The more they see this working, the more likely they are to recommit their support. Obviously, you want to start with their support, but that does not have an infinite timeline. We all know you really have to show success. And so taking a top-down and bottom-up approach to saying, are we building support for our strategy? This is the winning strategy that I've seen work for ourselves and others, while really saying, let's not prioritize the executives in this matter. Let's really bring the story to them from the ground up. What does good look like is often the question that I think a lot of partners struggle with, especially as they're getting started. When you come to your CRO and say, yeah, we can expect source in 18 months, that might give us a look on their face of incredible disappointment or frustration. But it's really important that we frame success. Maybe we're not getting sourced, but that's okay. We're driving so much additional revenue as a result of having a partner attached. Are we getting that partner attached? We're going to be able to do this through better enablement, both on our side and education to our sellers on the Microsoft side, bringing them stories of success. This is the thing that's going to help us drive additional attachment. While I believe this behavior has led to partner sourced, it certainly has within Contentsquare, it really is important to say, are we focused on helping drive business? Are we hoping to solidify business and save business and potential marketplace renewals? And are we focused on the growth that's going to happen from initial land and expand deals? Partner attached is a really good mechanism to do that. It also removes some of the subjective components to, is the partner influencing this deal? Now, Contentsquare, I'm happy to share this if you want to hit me up on LinkedIn. We have a framework for partner attached that really adds into Salesforce, the checkbox activity that really helps create a mechanism around saying, does this qualify as partner attached or not? And finally, driving deals with precision. This is really important when you start to think through, how do I maintain ongoing success? Simplified framework here. If I'm going to be asking my sellers to engage with Microsoft, I want to make it really clear to them, what should they be looking for, when, and how do they do this? One of the questions is, how do I co-sell? What should I be saying? What should I be doing on? If you qualify the deal, you've set some pretty easy standards around when and what sort of deal should qualify for co-sell. For us, it's in this first category. We move it into saying, can we evaluate this to see if it's a good target for co-sell? We've been able to bring customer MAC data and high propensity to buy data into our Salesforce through integrating with Microsoft Partner Center. We've also taken intelligence we've gained over co-selling for 3 years, used that to build up sales intelligence around basically a customer MAC GPS for when we're engaging with a customer. It's going to help us qualify, this is a Microsoft account. We should, by all means, need to be engaging with them. And when we engage with them, what should our sellers do? Most people are going to say, I don't have time to handhold all of my sellers. Absolutely, you don't. And absolutely, you don't want to set that precedent to be from here until eternity. Give them a really simple framework. Tell them, first off, you don't need to pitch. Microsoft doesn't need to hear it. Make your email to them very concise on who you are, what we do, our deal size, our timeline for close, who the actual buyers are, right? So what business unit, what are the components of the people we're engaging with, and 3 simplified core asks. Does the customer have any compelling timelines to purchase through the marketplace? Have they purchased through the marketplace before? And any other of things that a Microsoft seller might be able to chime in on. Probably not the point to ask, can you give us an introduction to the CMO? But moving into much more tangible asks. This is going to help you as a sales rep inform your account plan, and it's going to give you the ability to make this less transactional. The most successful sellers think about this as a partnership. Now, this is something that you're going to see those who really excel in this and others who don't. How do you help to connect those dots? Seller to seller engagement and win stories. It's going to help you be continually evolving as a partner and continually evolving as a highly skilled co-sell partner. You're winning together. This is what Microsoft wants as much as your customer and you. In a simplified framework, helping your sellers understand, give them a quick decision tree. If I'm looking at, marketplace renewal, or if I'm thinking about a customer that is already one of Contentsquare's, but we know we're coming up on a really tricky renewal. We know they have a Mac. What benefits can we position through the marketplace, Microsoft seller? Can you help us contextualize the value of a marketplace sale for this customer? And can you help us with this tricky renewal? We're coming up a competitor. That competitor is listing on GCP. We believe that working with you, we can solidify the value of buying through marketplace without cutting into our margin because we're a better and more expensive product. Make it really simple for everybody. Make it concise. Make sure your sellers are thinking through this as not a fishing expedition. We're coming to this with information, we're sharing. We've got deal value that's going to help Microsoft and the customer. We've got a product the customer wants and has been using. How do we close that gap? How do we work together to do it? And I'm a really firm believer in a third-party win. So even though we are selling to a different buying unit in many cases than who owns a Microsoft relationship, we know that the key thing for us and the key thing for the customer is we are able to sell the business value of the Contentsquare SaaS. We know the ROI. We can really help the customer understand that. Our champion is bought in. How do we work together with Microsoft to help them understand the business value of marketplace procurement? This brings together a win for the entire customer organization as much as it does for us and Microsoft. And the key thing when you start to win is really showing them what additional opportunity is there. So I talked earlier about having really strong Salesforce, being able to bring Contentsquare data together with Microsoft Partner Center data. We understand we have 52 million in the pipeline right now that has a Microsoft Mac. Only 6.7 of that have we already tagged it as a marketplace deal. How do we close that gap? How do we work together with Microsoft, with sales teams across the board to really focus those deals towards a marketplace close? This is massive incentive for my sellers, massive incentive for Microsoft. And if you think about it, this is incentive for the customer. If we're able to sell the value of our platform, we work with Microsoft to sell the value of buying that through the marketplace. This is how we bring this success together and help grow together. Leaving you with a couple of key takeaways. It's really important to align with what Microsoft cares about from a selling perspective. This is a no-brainer, but it's not. Really, if you dial into what your product does and why that matters, who uses it and why that's nice for Microsoft to understand, and then finally, how is it going to impact what Microsoft cares about? Azure usage, new product adoption, as well as Mac retirement. Second is about making sure your organization is co-sell ready. Co-sell ready goes beyond having the documentation that Microsoft asks you. It goes beyond having a marketplace listing. It goes beyond having an awesome product that you know can win. Is your organization ready? Have you set your sellers up for success? Are you arming them with clear compensation? Are you working on their behalf to close deals through that clear compensation and incentives guides? Are you working with marketing to help bring that message together, to target customers with messaging that matters to them as much as it matters to the Microsoft account team working with them? Are you doing everything in your power to bring your organization along with something that may be a very new and uncomfortable change? This is incredibly important to think through because you need those stakeholders to succeed and succeed continually. And the final piece, making sure you're doing this continually. You are focused on precision. You are arming your sellers, your marketing team, your other teams with knowledge about why this is useful for us and taking the same approach to how you are aligning with Microsoft. Why am I worth your time? Why is this deal valuable to the customer? Close those gaps for them. Make yourselves a very easy partner to work with because you've succeeded. You are doing what matters to them, and you're focused on connecting your success with their own. I'll be handing this off to Rajesh for some Q&A. Thank you again for the time. I hope this is helpful. And please let me know. Reach out on LinkedIn. Always happy to discuss the topic.
Thank you, Mike. What an amazing session. Every partner should review your slide on expectation setting. And I couldn't agree more that we win together when we are precise and intentional in our co-sell engagement. I hope everyone enjoyed Mike's session today. Now let's head to the Q&A. So please feel free to drop your questions in the chat and we'll try to answer them. Once again, thank you for your time. Thank you for joining us today and hope to see you in the next co-sell coaching session.